Text etiquette question. If you're trying to plan a get together with friends or family or some kind of social event, what's the longest you wait to follow up on an unanswered text if the person that has not replied has information you need? Understandably, sometimes people need to check with the significant other about a get together or social event. So, is the polite thing to do at least reply and say, let me talk to my spouse and get back to you?
I do think that that's the polite thing to do. Inform the person why you're not responding right away. But even then, I would say, like, if it's if you're not going to respond within an hour, and that's the reason why, then I would say that it's that it warrants a courtesy of, hey, I'm gonna wait. I've got to wait till I get home from work or whatever. Or I can't get a hold of my wife or whatever.
So the first part of the question, what's the longest you wait to follow up on an unanswered text if that person has not replied and has information?
Yeah. I think that depends entirely on how eminent it is. So
okay.
if it's
there's
like
an equation, okay.
Yeah. I don't think that there's a very simple one size fits all answer for this one.
Yeah.
For that one for me. So if it's like, if I'm trying to text my wife, for example, to find out like what kind of milk to buy at the grocery store, and I'm there staring at the milk aisle, I'm gonna like text her, call her,
Yeah.
call her.
Yeah.
Until I get something, right?
Yeah, and that barrage is going to be expected because of the urgency of the milk.
Exactly, because milk is extraordinarily important, and I'm not coming back to that corner of the store.
Right. Even though milk is in 4 places on 3 different end caps and in a whole section, you're like, no, I'm not going back to where all the milk is.
Oh, no. Any marketer will tell you the milk is in one place, and they make you crawl through the store to get to it. But if it's like, if I need to know what kind of milk to buy and I'm on the way to the store, I'll send a text message. Okay. And then, but I mean, it's not going to get followed up on until like sometime later while I'm shopping.
Yeah.
And it's even less eminent if it was like, if I texted her like 5 hours ago and I don't get a response yet. So
I have really, really strong feelings about this one. And I was smiling ear to ear when Dylan was reading it because I was feeling a little guilty because I sometimes do this to Dylan.
Great. Let's talk about it.
Because we might get into a fight because Dylan is usually a planner and he likes to know details very far in advance. He just likes to plan.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when those queries come in, an example once was before Halloween, he texted about Christmas gifts for someone like, hey, what's the plan on all of us? And when that text comes in, I know this is not the healthiest attitude to have, but I get angry that he has the luxury of planning that far in advance. And so to punish him, I intentionally wait for a really long time because I'm like, I have 900 other things to worry about between now and when you're trying to plan for. How dare you text me about this right now? I don't know. I haven't even thought about what costumes I'm getting my kids for Halloween, let alone Christmas gift planning. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate the honesty there because this is one of those things where I feel like so many people relate to and nobody will admit it. Like so many people do really catty things, all of us included. We just never ever would be willing to like let people into the deepness, that dark of a place to let you know that, yeah, I saw the text message. I didn't respond because I felt like you needed to learn a lesson. Like nobody says that.
I'm mad at you. That
a lot of people have done it.
Oh, that's an extreme version. But I'm pretty sure that's happened before. But yeah, I think timing does come into play is the point. And I'm admitting that it's not the healthiest of attitudes, but sometimes those texts come in and it's not just from Dylan. And I roll my eyes and go, I don't know, man.
It's all good. Feels good to have my stuff together though. So anyways, I didn't know if we had any more thoughts on that one.
You have to respond to that.
That was a wonderful response, actually.
So Kendall has an equation. Corey's quote too busy to have to think about anyone but himself.
Oh, that's gross. That's so gross.
No, it's a good question. I don't know. I think it does feel like it does feel like a bit of a moving target based on the urgency of the thing. So if you're talking about, in Corey's example, October requests for Christmas gifts, certainly weeks at minimum. I think you can reasonably wait days or weeks probably and wait to reply and say, hey, just checking in. Because like somebody's trying to be the planner. Some people aren't mentally there. I get it. Like, and I think we did do that like the first or second year of the pandemic because so much stuff was out of stock. I think it was like, we even realized kind of the absurdity of it, but like, hey, they're saying things might take like 4 to 6 weeks to be shipped. So like, if anyone has ideas, it doesn't make it less absurd, but I do think that was some of the logic. So I'll speak to that a little, but it does feel like the longer the timeline bar, it's like 10% into that amount of time is how long. There's got to be some kind of like it's a ratio of like how long is the thing, and then you wait like about 10 to 25% of the way into that timeline, and that's probably when you follow up. So if that's 4 hours from now, you might wait 30 minutes to an hour to follow up, right? Like, hey, I need to know for dinner tonight.
Right.
Are you guys coming or are you not? It's in 4 hours. Wait, you text, you wait an hour and go, hey, didn't know if you saw my text. If it's like next weekend, probably a day or two. And you go, hey, we're just planning some stuff for next weekend. Got to get some food together. If it's 2 months later, it's probably 3 or 4 weeks. So it just feels like it's a certain fraction into the timeline that you need it in. Kendall's milk is urgent. So he needs to know about milk now.
This is the perfect plug for what we do and why we try to give centrist answers. It's often said the truth lies somewhere in the middle. The less catty, less passive aggressive thing for me to do in my example was to say, hey man, I'm not any more important or special, but my head isn't even there yet. I'll get back to you later. And then I can't be mad when you reply. And you also have to understand that it's not even Halloween.
Yeah.
COVID, I get it. Supply chain, blah, blah, blah. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. You're probably being a little far on one end of a spectrum. I'm probably being a little far on the other and dramatic. And
And Kendall's got milk. So that's where we are.
Oh.